Happy Monday, my friends. Happy June 1st. Here we are, kicking and screaming. And today, because of you, we finally broke 400K. I've only been doing this for 20 years. I should be 40 million by now. But when you talk about what I've been talking about for a long time, well, you got to eke things out slower. But anyway, I thank you. I appreciate you. And we have a lot to talk about specifically today. As you know, Candace wasn't doing her regular show. She's in Russia. Not Mother Russia, but she's in St. Petersburg. I thought I was from Pinellas. That's there. St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Pinellas, all the better beaches. Just kidding. She's in Russia and Moscow, and that's where she is. And people are going crazy because she is storming Russia without permission. And basically, it's to Russia with love, and she's going there and doing whatever she wants to do. Meanwhile, during Vietnam, Jane Fonda could have gone to another. Think about this. Went to Vietnam, met with the NVA, basically taunted Americans, many of them who were being held and tortured. No problem from that. This was an enemy. This is aiding and abetting, giving counsel to an enemy. Enemy. Now, we're not at war with Russia. But Jane Fonda did this and nobody said a word. Does that sound fair to you? I don't think so. But my friends, let me tell you something. The world is about, the shit is about to hit the fan. Pardon my French, but that's what we call it. And let me tell you something. If you are not ready, and I mean seriously ready for whatever happens, there is simply no helping you. So a word from our sponsor. Listen. My dear friend and patriot, this is not about fear-mongering. This is about reality. Look around the world right now. The Strait of Hormuz, shipping lanes under pressure, political instability, fertilizer shortages, fuel prices swinging wildly, farmers struggling with costs that were unthinkable a couple of years ago. And now, when fertilizer prices rise, planting slows. And when planting slows, harvest shrink. And when harvest shrink, food prices explode. It is a domino effect. You know this intuitively, and it's true. And we are already seeing the warning signs everywhere. People assume that grocery stores somehow magically refill themselves, that everything's fine overnight. They don't. Modern supply chains are fragile. One disruption, one cyber attack, one geopolitical escalation or miscalculation, one transportation bottleneck, and shelves empty fast. We saw glimpses of this before, and next time it could be far worse. This is why I strongly urge you. Nobody's going to force you. Nobody's going to make you do this. This is up to you. But I strongly urge you to prepare now while you still can. Do not wait until panic buying begins. Get a free Mega Protein kit when you order a 3-month emergency food supply right now from our great friends at My Patriot Supply. Go to preparewithlionel.com. Preparewithlionel.com and click the link below. This is not paranoia. This is prudence. Food security is national security and family security. Prepare now, because the world is becoming more unstable by the day. And you know this is true. Preparewithlionel.com. My friends, it is wild what is happening. You don't even know what's happening yet. You haven't even glimpsed. They haven't. Today I was listening to Judge Napolitano, and oh my God, everybody from Alistair Cook to McGregor to Mearsheimer to Larry Johnson, just go down the list, Scott Ritter, and they're talking about another world. And what are we talking about here? What's the big news? Scott Pelley's upset with 60 Minutes. I swear to God. I swear to God. This is what they're worried about. They have no idea. Larry Loomer wants Candace to be what? To sign up as a foreign agent? She's visiting Russia. What about Jane Fonda? Jane Fonda, who openly, proudly is endorsing Karen Bass-Ackwards, as Kelsey Grammer calls him. Do you understand what's happening here? This is our country. We have pride. We have riots here in New Jersey where the governor of New Jersey is actively aiding and abetting rioting and insurrection. And they came up with that bullshit about January the 6th. So let me get this straight. So Candace is going to Russia. She's saying, this is a nice place. It's clean. There's culture. Oh, no, you can't do that. Why? That's wrong. We would do a lot better if we listen to some of these values. Recently, there's a new move that suggested, a lot of people are suggesting that LGBTQ and some forms of this, if not all this trans business, is mental illness. We're having major pride. We are having parades because of somebody's sexuality. Because two dudes want to do it, or a man and a woman, or a woman, two women and a woman, a guy and a duck, or whatever it is. We're going to have a parade. This is what we're proud of. This huge swaths, tranches of money and funding for what? Oh, but no, they're backwards. No, he's evil. He's evil. Oh, Putin is there. Those Russians, you don't want to go there. Stay here. It's great here in LA. It looks like an open toilet. I don't want to go into details, but it is beyond anything you've ever seen. Kensington in Philly, it looks like the Night of the Living Dead. A little better now, but it was just, and nobody knew, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? You take a big water cannon and you go and you spray it and you say, you better get off the street and don't come back. If you're some zombie walking around with open sores, we don't want you here. Go, leave. We've already tried to make things, various things, whatever, the functions of accommodating you, and you didn't take it. We are in the midst of a collapse of not only morality, but common sense, the likes of which I have never seen. We're arguing about celebrating the 250. Russia's what, 860, what did I say, common era? A couple of millennia. We can barely get 250 years. We can't decide because we don't like Trump. We don't like him. So we're going to, you know what? We're just not going to show up. We're going to take our ball and go home. This is what we're all about. This is it. You think this is great? You think this is groovy? You like this? This makes sense to you? That's our country. Oh, we're terrific. We're great. How dare you, Candace? How dare you go over? Those barbarians with subways that you could eat off the floor versus this. Oh, God. How long do they expect you to keep talking about this nonsense? How long do they seriously believe, and I mean this, how long do they think you're going to put up with this? How long? Where's this war going with Iran? Do you have any idea? You ready for Lebanon? You ready for that one next? You ready for this? What's Turkey going to do? Anybody talking about this? No, we're talking about Scott Pelley. Oh my God, and Barry Weiss about this beloved 60 Minutes. 60 Minutes is dead. Ever since Mike Wallace died and Morley Savior, nobody gives a shit about them. 60 Minutes? Are you kidding me? This is where we are. I ask you today, name me one politician that you think, you know what? That's the future. Anybody? None. I'll save you time. None. Doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. We are so desperately in need right now of changing things. I don't know how we're going to do it. Now, today, by the way, there was this article for the New York Post, blockbuster news story in the Tyler Robinson case. Nothing happened. Nothing. Did you hear that? Nothing happened. Nothing. They're arguing about whether there's going to be, cameras. Okay, fine. Nothing happened. I'm still going up to these idiots and telling people, what do you think Where do you think this conviction is going to come from? Well, he confessed. No, he didn't. Did you see this confession? This is the most piss poor confession. He didn't confess to the police. Why would you turn yourself into the police and not confess? I'm throwing a lot of subjects at you. Start with this. Why do you turn yourself into the police and don't confess? Anybody? Fill me in. Why do you turn yourself into the police and not confess? It's like, I'm going to turn myself in. Now, what was I trying to do? Let me see. What was I trying to do? Why did I come here? Oh, yeah, right. I'm turning myself in. Do you want to confess? No. Well, why'd you turn yourself in? I don't know. All right. You're turning yourself in because you did it, right? Well, I guess. You guess? Wait a minute. Why are you turning yourself in? I don't know. You follow me on this one? I'm not getting ahead of you, am I? Let's stay with this. What's going on here? Where's the confession? You're going to have to introduce some discord confession into the mix. That's it. That's your confession. He went to the police and never confessed. Why? Because as you'll find out, he turned himself in because they said, you better turn yourself in or they're going to just all of a sudden just empty of a series of magazines into your ass because you don't know how bad this is. This is unbelievable. Oh, by the way, while we're on the subject of Tyler, just want to tell you this much. They've got a rifle there, maybe, that can't be linked to anything. Oh, yeah, because it's the same as the lint brush. Let me say this again to you. Tyler Robinson, the alleged killer of Charlie, the alleged killer, has a rifle they've recovered with his DNA and fingerprints on it because it's his and 5 or 6 other people. We don't know who they are, but they can't link it. Because if the truth be known, I'll bet you anything they don't even find any bullet fragments in him. You might find some piece of plastic. I don't know what. We'll get to that in a moment. Do you understand what's happening with this? Do you understand? And yet these people, these media folks are, this is the New York Post today. Blockbusters say, idiots, get to the case. What's the matter with you? There's no evidence. Not only that, there's no confession. What are you talking about? What's a jury? But no. No, we're talking about, I don't know, we need a complete up top to bottom political revolution. Peaceful. But we've got to throw everybody out, start from scratch, no parties, no nothing. Let's just pretend we're starting from scratch. And let's just go vote for people. And you got to kind of listen to them. And ask yourself, may I ask the question? Yes. Are you in favor of parades and celebrations of people's sexuality? Do you think that is an accomplishment? Do you think a person's choice of sexual partner is worthy of celebration? Do you? Is that good? Say, hey, are you recruiting? How about people who have been married for 50 years or more? How about that? Any celebrations for that? No. How about people who have families and put kids through school, proud grandparents? Anybody? No. Did you see the latest too? That Emma, what's her face? Emma Huzitz, who is Doug Emhoff. This is Gamala's daughter-in-law. Did you see this thing? It looks like a fist with eyes. Have you seen her? The model covered in tats. She just signed to some modeling thing. Yeah. Because she's beautiful. If she's a model, I'm a Gene Shrimpton. Okay? Can you believe this? Ask your parents. This is nuts. And they can't wait to get back. They're going to go, I mean, they're going to go nuts. Oh, another one too is, did you see this? The Kennedy family is worried about what happens when Jack Schlossberg, who is fundamentally, certifiably insane. Have you seen this guy? Tweaking and crazy lunatic? And if he's not, I don't know, not that it matters, but you know, those Kennedys, all those Kennedy men are randy. Oh, Von Anken, bless your heart, a new member, along with Southwest Florida, 1964. Where's Southwest Florida? There we go, the Southwest Florida right there. We got Van Anken right there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Florida. You're from Florida. Let me see, Southwest. Where would that be? Naples? I don't know. I've lost my sense of geography. So anyway, so this guy, that's also in the news. This guy's crazy. Here's another great one. You ready for this? Now, this has nothing to do with anything. This is nothing. This is just cheap, tawdry, kind of National Enquirer, fun gossip stuff. I love it. Kim Kardashian is so done. What is she, 50? I have no idea. 44 years old. Remember, she was going to be a lawyer. California. Okay. She was apparently some Formula One guy. Nobody cares. Remember the old joke? Hey, who do I have to get a drink around here? Remember that? Well, she said, hey, it's me. I got a new guy. Uh-huh. And he doesn't like it because apparently he didn't realize he was walking into this, like Pete Davidson, this guy, this lunatic, this drug addict freak. But I just, again, you're going to say, what does that have to do with anything? Even Kim Kardashian doesn't even, that's over. It's over with. It's done. 60 Minutes over. Gay pride. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody. They're trying desperately. 4 or 5. Most people do not support blocking the removal of illegal immigrants, aliens, from our country. Let me say this again to you. Nobody supports flooding our cities and towns with illegals. Nobody. And I'll bet you in Russia, if you were to ask Putin, what do you think about that? Because believe me, illegals, they'll go anywhere. It's not like, well, nobody want to go to Russia. Russia's beautiful. Parts of it. We're not talking Siberia, but even Siberia. You've never been there. I've never been there. How the hell do I talk about a country I don't know anything about? Oh, we have a friend of ours today. This is great. She's a big traveler. Paris, shithole. It's done, finished, through, over, done. Forget it. Done, ruined, or as we say here, ruined. It's ruined. Okay. Next, the UK, almost there. Almost. Look what they did. Look what they did. Do they have that in Russia? I don't think so. No, they have the Bolshoi. They have this thing called culture, history. History. They had some bad moments too. Yes, but you know what's interesting? When you ask people about Stalin, a lot of people say he saved us from Hitler. They were our allies against fascism. And today, what? Let me remind you of something. Candace is in Russia. She's catching all kinds of grief. Jane Fonda came back. Nobody ever arrested her. Nobody said, remember the story was that American individuals, American POWs were handing her notes. I'm tortured. Give this to my family. Help me. She didn't do that. Am I getting through to you here? Candace Owens, they're raising all kinds of hell because she's in Russia. Jane Fonda, as a lefty liberal, was lauded for this. Can you tell me where this makes it? When did we lose our mind? At what point do you think? When do you think? How many of your parents, Vietnams, could not stand Jane Fonda? You mentioned Jane Fonda, and they went crazy. Brave men who fought in Vietnam, and this thing went over there because she got a wild hair up her ass. Oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to sit in an anti-aircraft gun that was used to shoot down American planes to kill Americans. Do you understand what's happening here? Do you understand? Tell me you do. Just nod. Just nod. Because this is nuts. And if anybody thinks, I'm sorry, if anybody thinks that somehow this is groovy, you're out of your mind. We are out of it, my friends. And little by little, bit by bit, we are unable to grasp it. And it's getting better than anything else. I have waited so much for this because I am telling you, I am seeing the first cracks. Not really the cracks, but I mean, it's going to come tumbling down like you cannot believe. Let me also tell you something. A lot of people don't like Trump. And let me tell you something. Trump is acting sometimes like a fool. Okay? Like a fool. Nobody wants old Pops Biden, and nobody wants Kamala either. And nobody wants, the best one is that thug, that intellectual thug, that twit, Mr. California. And ain't going to happen. Let me just say something to you. And I mean this. I mean this. I'm so glad you're with us. I'm so glad you're a part of this. But you're going to have to do something. Let me ask you something. Is there anybody here who is not registered to vote? Answer my question. Is everybody here registered to vote? Anybody? Anybody? Republic Tea Room says, loved your earlier breakdown. No fear. Thank you so much. Does anybody here seriously have any doubt about voting? This is it. Because there's a thing here that's interesting. And I'm seeing this more and more. Sometimes social media give folks the idea that you don't have to do anything but just exclaim, just exhort, just bleat and scream and yell and everything will be groovy. Just yell into the microphone. Just yell. It's okay. And I'm seeing more and more of this. The word demon, satanic, and evil. And I got into a little bit of not a problem, but I got into a little bit of a argument. I'm saying, what good is it for you, I told somebody, to keep saying that something is evil? What are you going to do to counteract the evil? What? Are you just going to go online and say it's evil, or are you going to do something about it? What are you going to do? And they were a little miffed, a little taken aback. And that's the problem. Social media is wonderful. What we do is wonderful. What I do. But I don't want to sit here merely and just do this. And I want to go out and I want to tell you. I want to tell the world. I'm trying to tell the world. This is, and by the way, I guess because I don't laud somebody's sexual proclivities in a parade, people are out to make me out to be some kind of a conservative. It has nothing to do with conservatism. I'm not saying this because I'm agreeing with somebody else. I'm not saying this because of the Bible. I'm not saying this because of John Wayne or Ronald Reagan or Trump or anybody for them. I'm telling you because it makes sense to me. It's nothing to do with anybody else. It is I have no interest whatsoever in abiding by anybody's idea. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't make any sense. We're also getting into, and forgive me for this, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a background. I was involved in sort of, kind of tangentially. You know, when you're a lawyer, you're in a lot of cases sometimes, and a lot of them aren't filed. You know, they're not, but you're consulting and you're watching and you're advising and you're doing all kinds of things. And one of the things which I came across recently was a lot of people live in a very, very nice world. They really do. They've never been the victim of crime. They've never been, they don't know anybody who's really been a victim of crime. Most people, and that's a very good thing. And they don't really know what a crime is. And if they do know what a crime is, they're involved in something called restorative justice. And I keep talking to people about this, and it's not really, it's not made its mark, but it should. And we're living right now in these people in the world where this had inhabited by these people who believe that criminals should be handled in a non-carceral way, meaning non-jail, incarceration. It's also called carceral. And they believe that what's important for us to do is to make sure that we all get along and understand what is it that motivates these people? What is it that motivates these people? To which I say, I don't care what motivates somebody at all. Doesn't matter to me. The only thing I care about is, did you intend to do it? If you didn't intend to do it, then it's negligence, and then you treat it differently. If you intend to kill somebody, it's murder or secondary, but it's homicide. Certainly. But if you don't, if it was accidental, it's negligence, manslaughter, something along those lines. It's the only distinction I make. So recently, I was trying to explain to somebody, I said, crazy people do really bad things. Really bad things. And you got to take these crazy people and you got to put them behind bars or institutionalize them for a very long time. You understand what I'm saying? Are you with this? Anybody got a problem with that? Anybody's faith, or I don't think Christianity gets in the way, but some people have claimed that. Does anybody have any problem? You have any problem? And what you do is you go in and you pull people off the street and you put them into institutions because they threaten people. And they're dangerous to themselves and to others. Now, is this a conservative way? I don't think so. I think it's common sense. You think they put up with this in Russia? I don't think so. Bring back the asylum is correct. Bring back institutionalization. Bring these people back, lock them up, take them off the street. The street. Go to Russia. Look around. I only talk to people who I've never been there. I've never been there. Probably won't go there. Probably won't. I'm not a big traveler. Believe it or not, I don't have wanderlust. I really don't. This is so terrible. I kind of have this passing idea about maybe wanting to go to certain countries, except that I've got to travel there, and how I hate that more than you. I hate airport. I hate humanity. I hate being in a tube and flying there. How anybody goes to Australia, I'll never know. God bless you. I'll never know how that ever happens. But there's a very serious problem here, and nobody's talking about it. And the Democrats aren't at all. No, they're aiding and abetting people who are breaking the law. New Jersey has a moron by the name of Mikey Sherrill. Mikey Sherrill is a dame, a broad, I'm kidding, a woman, and people thought she was a man. Mikey Sherrill, no reference to sex or gender, no reference, by the way, to even party. Mikey Sherrill. And she was big in the Montclair area. She's from Montclair, Upper Montclair, and all this. And it's a very nice place, very progressive. Well, for the first time in Montclair, they had this gay pride parade, which was the biggest in New Jersey. And that has been postponed because either they stole the money or nobody cares. And what this Jadrul doesn't understand is she, like Zoran Mamdani, okay, this is the one, like Newsom in California and Karen Bass and these others, they are given the rule book. They are told, like this idiot, this tweaker, Schlossberg, they're going to hand him the list of things you do. This is what you do. This is it. You know, people talk about the Israeli lobby. Okay, is there a Israeli lobby? You damn right there's an Israeli lobby. Of course there is. Yes. Is it powerful? Are you kidding? Yes. And there was a climate lobby, but there's also a left lobby. I don't know what the lobby is, but there are people who push this. And when you go in and you're a Democrat, you are given a list of things to do, and this is what you will promote. And if you veer from this, you're done. You're done. They make AIPAC out to be so, wow. It's done all the time. It's done all the time. Here in New York, we have this thing called, it was the 59th Street Bridge, and now it's called the Ed Koch Bridge. I wasn't a big Ed Koch fan, but Ed Koch was gay. He looked like Mr. Magoo. He really did. I feel he was just weird. But anyway, he was a guy who was gay. And he had these beards. Who was it? Bess Meyerson? Bess Meyerson was his, come on, stop it. You've got these people all the time. They have these, it's ridiculous. Anyway, so they renamed the 59th Street Bridge Ed Koch. So Zoran Mamdani, this lefty loon, he's not a communist. He's not a socialist. He's this moonbat they handed the rules to. He wants to repeal this. I don't know if he has any authority. I think it's kind of a state thing. I don't know. But anyway, because he didn't like what Ed Koch did, the way he denied AIDS funding or something. Now, the guy's been dead for I don't know how long. The bridge, nobody calls it the Ed Koch Bridge. I don't call it that. Nobody does. It's like nobody calls the Taconic. Was it Taconic, the Mario Cuomo? But nobody calls it that. Anyway, make a long story short, this was something he was handed. This twit doesn't know anything about Ed Koch. Wasn't around. It wasn't young. Didn't know anything about this. But they handed him this. And let me tell you something. And I want you to listen to me. They are chomping at the bit. Because when they take office again, and they will, because the Republicans they're just living in this world of we're so cool, how could we possibly lose? Who in their right mind would vote us out of office? I mean, we're the Republicans. They believe this. No, they believe this. They are worthless. They are absolutely worthless. And by the way, they're talking about, Ed Koch, he was in World War II, for God's sake. It was a different time. You never told anybody you were gay. You never admitted it. You never did it. It was a different story then. I mean, he lived in the perfect city for this, my God. But here's the question. Let me ask you this. How important is it, do you think, if somebody is gay, for them to tell you they're gay? Let me ask you a question again. Do you believe that if somebody's gay, a lot of people are talking about Lindsey Graham. Now, we're always supposed to stop and say, I don't care what somebody's sexuality is. Let's get this out. Forget this business about, not that there's anything wrong with it, but ask yourself a very simple question. If somebody is gay, do you think they owe you at least an explanation to fill you in? Is that relevant? Especially when everybody knows it's true. That's the thing where you don't understand. I can understand if somebody doesn't want to tell you because they're ashamed of it or something. I don't think you should be, but let's assume you are. But what really drives me nuts are people in Hollywood who realize you know who they are. You know who they are, the big names, the big action heroes who can't admit to you that they're gay because they'll lose their job. Let me tell you what happened years ago. They found out that audiences do not care if a woman is gay. Doesn't make any difference. In some respects, some people might even find it more, I don't know what the word is, more attractive. I don't know, but some might. They're funny that way. If you found out that Sharon Stone, oh, she's irrelevant, but anyway, but if Sharon Stone were gay, or if she was a tribid, if she was sapphic, would you care? No. Would anybody care? No. Again, some people might like it. I don't know. But if you found out that this guy, this action hero, is gay, they did all kinds of research and they found out, ooh, audiences don't care for that. What was that guy's name from Wedding? Noel, what's his name? He was gay and he lost everything. They didn't. 3 Weddings and a Dog or some, whatever the hell that's called. Anyway, Noel, anyway, there was this British actor. He was gay. And he's playing the leading man. They loved him. Oh, he's so handsome. And okay, fine. They found out he was gay. And I can hear it. I can see that name. It's going to drive me crazy. Luke, no. You know what I'm talking about. Who is it? What's the name of this guy? What's the name of the guy? It was a Weddings. I'm surprised you don't know this. Maybe I've got a younger group. Von Ecken, our good friend, says, should I go around telling people I'm straight? Hell no. You know, you're right about this. I don't even understand. It doesn't matter. And the best part is half of the time, by the way, thank you, half of the time you already know. Eric, it starts with an E. Anyway. This is what drives me crazy. Everett. Oh. His name is Rupert Everett. A renowned openly gay actor. It was my best friend's wedding. And he was great. And they thought everybody was terrific until they said, wait a minute, he's gay. They said, well, it doesn't matter. He's an actor. Wait a minute. What do you mean it doesn't? What do you mean? So anyway, so in Hollywood, the same people. Let me ask you this question. How many people do you think would ever endorse a trans actor? Do we have a trans actor of note? Nope. Come on, all their kids are trans. This is something which is interesting. When you see a group of people who are trans, who are like a pocket of a cluster, almost like a disease. I'm not trying to suggest a disease, but you would normally say, that's weird. You know that this one particular city, this one county has a 42% instance of testicular cancer. That's weird. So you've got something which is very rare, infrequent in the population. But in Hollywood, the number of people whose family members are trans is through the roof. Do you think any of them are going to be? And by the way, a trans actor who is going to be treated like a regular actor, not somebody who is there who is trans. Do you think? Hell no. Hell no. Is there acceptance of trans? No. Now remember, when I say acceptance, I don't think anybody should go to jail or any of this stuff. I think they should have the same civil. I mean, there may be something in which it may or may not apply. But ask when Candace is there if she, I don't know if she's going to meet Putin, but if she does, say, what's your story with that? What's your story? They're very, very proud of their, I guess you'd say, their conservative ethos, their ether, their ethics, I should say. They're very proud about that. And what I'm saying is that these folks believe that as soon as our good friend Mr. Trump takes over or loses, they think they're going to take over again. Now, the question is, what's it going to be? What's going to be? Who is going to fight back for that? It's one thing when you're a minority. It's one thing when you're in the outskirts and you're screaming about something. It's one thing when you're in the outskirts and you're claiming to be a part of something. It's a different thing when you're running for office and you say, I want to make this. Do you remember the first week? Remember when Joe Biden was in office? Remember that guy? What was his name? Cooper. This really scary guy with the fingernails. I'm answering the phone. You go, what is this? And who was that? Carrot Top. Remember Peppermint Patty? She was opening the door and saying, Cooper, have I got any mail? Yes. And meanwhile, Biden's walking around like, huh? He doesn't know where the hell he is. And they had openly, not gay, but circus level trans in the White House. Remember when Biden had the flag, women or whatever were raising their tops? Remember that? And they would expose, I guess, their manufactured breasts or what have you. You had Biden who was standing there, but they were playing some music. That dude with the beard and the dress. So let me ask you something. How bad was that? Well, was it not as bad, or is having an ultimate fighting arena or octagon worse? Is anything that Trump's done, they say he's defiled the sanctity of the White House. He's defiled this with this insanity. He's okay. What about compared to that? Is that any different? No. What's the difference? So what I'm telling you is we have to understand that it's going to get real nasty coming up. And let me ask you a question. What are you going to do about it? Now, I'm going to ask you a very simple question. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to vote? Yeah. Are you going to say anything? Are you going to march? Or what you're going to do, what a lot of people do is you're going to sit back and say, damn it. Look at this. God, they've done it again. This is horrible. This is just, look what they've done. This is just awful. We have to get out of that. Somebody organize marches. Let's show people. These are the only people that march. The left is very good. They're very good at this. What do you think it will take for us to do this? What do you think? I don't know. I really don't. I honest to God, seriously wonder what's it going to take. You know what's also, I think we have to come up with something other than LOL. Don't you think? don't you think we need to get up? We've got to figure. Does LOL mean anything to you anymore? Seriously, or ROFL, or does it mean anything anymore? Do you realize that something that instead of you saying funny, you say LOL? You reduce your reaction to LOL. That's it. One size fits all. And if that's not good enough, maybe a little face. Maybe the face with the two tears showing really laughing. You do realize you're not speaking anymore. You do realize this, right? You do understand this. You're not saying anything. We need to go back to actually putting into words. You can do it. I want everybody to try to say something like, that's funny. You don't have to say, ha, ha, ha. I know what laughing is. I want to hear more of your appraisal of the thought, not how you're reacting to it. No words. That's one of my favorites. No words. When somebody dies, no words. Why are there no words? Because I don't speak words. I could have said no words about anything. I want to hear I want to hear actually something in English, because we're losing our ability to speak. How many words a day do we lose? 300, 400 words a day? It's incredible. Now, on another issue, which may or may not be of any interest to you, I find it fascinating. And that is the one that says that Joe Rogan. Do we have Joe Rogan fans here? Do you have a Joe? Are you of a Joe Rogan fan? Do we have a fandom? I think what the man has done is absolutely incredible in terms of the impact he has made. Without a doubt, 100%. You understand this? This is absolutely critical. Okay? And the fact that he is being considered by Barry Weiss to be a reporter on 60 Minutes does more to make me happy than anything you can imagine. Here's another one. Nantucket Church cancels 4th of July celebration in political protest because of own whiteness. How about that one? Tina Brown, by the way, who always wonder, nobody cares about Tina Brown, has a dire warning for Democrats. You see what we're trying to do? We're trying to negotiate our way through this. Let me ask you this. And if I could speak to Candace, do they talk about this in Russia? When you read the news, and there's certain things, there's TASS and Pravda, and there's RT, and there's others. Those are more serious stuff. But do they have in Russia a version of Kim Kardashian? Do they? Do they have a version of this stupidity? Do they? Are we the only ones who has it? Do they have this? Do you think in Russia, they would ever cancel Memorial Day or whatever their Victory Day because it's too white? Do you think they would ever do? I mean, I don't know if they're going to, I'm not sure what the black population is, but do you see what I'm saying? When are we going to say, this is stupid, this is silly, it's got to stop? This is ridiculous. Nobody believes this. You've got a handful of people of the left with big mouths who are trying to convince you that somehow we're worried about being too white. I don't understand something. I don't get it. See, we are the only, we can't talk about whiteness. Think I'm kidding? Okay, let me ask you a question. Let's say you had, ask people this question. Hypothetically, ask any of your lefty friends. Let's assume you have two communities. You've got a lot of money and you're going to buy a house. You've got two communities. Absolutely, positively, they look identical. The layout, the schools, the roads, the distance from the interstate, whatever the parameters are, they look exactly. One is predominantly black, one is predominantly white. Where do you want to live? Ask somebody that question. What do you think people would say? Answer my question. Where would you want to live? Where would you want to live? Make it even easier. Two populations identical. One is predominantly gay, one is not. One is more, I don't know what the word is. Where do you want to live? Anybody? Don't answer all at once. Where? Why is it that so many black stars live where white big shot people? We can say, well, maybe because if you want to buy an expensive home, there are so few black folks who are able to afford them that the majority of the people who own are white. That could very well be. But what is this? See, if you really want to talk about it, see, nobody wants to ever even get near this. Nobody wants to get near this. Nobody ever wants to talk about this subject. We talk about it in circles. And the worst are the lefty white folks who are such hypocrites. They won't tell you the truth. If you ask them a question, your daughter has the chance of marrying two men, both of them identical in all respects, education, money, whatever you want to call it. And the difference comes down to simply this. One is black, one is white. Oh, and you're white, by the way. What do you think people would say? Do you think that we have this, any kind of, I guess, connection with this kind of the radical left insanity world? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, I think the answer is very, very simple. It's nothing to do with race. It's people who are like you. You want to live in a Korean community? No. Why? I'm not Korean. I just, we tend to. Do you have any black friends? No. I mean, not somebody you talk to at work. Do you have any Asian friends? Do you have any gay friends? No. You know how many millions of black folks there are, and you've got no black friends? You can ask black folks. Do you have any white friends? I mean, really white friends? Friends that you would, they go on a vacation with? No. Gay friend? No. Is it because you don't like them? No. It's because I don't have anything. They're not my circles. I don't know what to do. I don't feel familiar with Korean people. I don't know what to tell you. We act like we're in love with everybody. No, we're not. But because we want to be separated doesn't mean that we hate each other. We only know what we know. Catholics, I think, prefer to marry Catholics. You'll find this out. Go ahead. Jews marry Jews. Muslims. I mean, does this surprise you? Does any of this surprise you? Is it because of hate? Why are people always trying to tell me that I'm wrong? Why? It doesn't matter. Nobody's buying this. Nobody is buying this. You hear what I'm telling you? And what's the most important thing for people to realize is that we have to understand something. Trump, the Republicans, want to kind of go around with war and money and oil and tariffs and that kind of stuff. That's what they want. They're bad with this stuff. I mean, Trump was, I don't even know what the hell he's doing. Trump, he makes up his mind. He has the slush fund for people who were January. I don't even, I can't, because I don't want to say taco, I don't want to refer to this, these terrible references. But the thing about it is that they make these things which make no sense at all. You see what I'm trying to tell you? You see what I'm trying to? They make no sense. This idea that Trump always chickens out. It's not that he chickens out. He just changes his mind to the point that makes no much sense. This is important. This is the part which is critical. So what I'm trying to tell you is simply this, my friend. If you want to vote for Republicans, they're going to maybe do taxes and crypto, and they may mess around with Social Security. I don't know. We might be at war. We might be too connected to Israel. I don't know. But if you vote left, if you vote for these people, you can forget it. Kiss it goodbye. Do you hear what I'm saying? You can kiss it goodbye. And here's the best part. And I want you to listen very, very, very carefully, okay? I want you to be afraid. I want you to be frightened. I want you to worry about this. Because the only person who's running the show is you and me. There's nobody else. There is nobody else. You understand something? Lionel, they all suck. Absolutely. We are done. What are we going to do? We need new parties. We need a revolution. We need a reform party. We need to start from scratch. America first, mean it. Don't change your mind. Whatever happened to this? Make the dream great again, writes, changes his cheese on his taco salad. Okay. I guess. Thank you. This is a part which is the most important. This is a part which really, really, you know what? Now, here's the bottom line. This is the most important thing. Some people might find what I'm trying to tell you to be problematic. Somebody might be, they might say, what's going on in the world today? This is as critical as it gets. None of this matters. Nothing else matters. Now, what's happening with, for example, with Candace, Erica, that's coming to an end. You understand that? What I mean coming to an end, that means we're waiting for Erica to say something stupid again, but eventually, we're moving on. You do understand that, right? We're moving on. It's going to hurt people to realize this, but this numbnuts cannot say stupid things anymore. So we're going to move on. And Mikey and Colvett and all these people, it'll just be TPUSA is going to shut down or close down or go away. And we're going to then shift to the Tyler Robinson case. You hear what I'm saying? You understand that's what's going on. You understand this? I want you to listen, because a lot of people are still, and don't get me wrong, it's interesting, but it's not going to be around for a long time. What is happening is that we have midterms coming up. Nothing is as important as that. Nothing. And some people may not like that. Some people may have a hard time with it, because I think there's a thing, some people don't care. One of them is midterms. And also, I don't think people really care, believe it or not, for stuff like UFOs. I don't think people really care about that. I really do. I think the Epstein file, that's over. I think we talk about, stuff, but nobody really cares about that anymore. I'm telling you, we are really screwed. And you should be absolutely afraid of that. What I want to tell you is that this is, look at this. Illegal alien from Muslim country says he's gay to claim asylum in America. Then he makes the people are coming here. The Trump DOJ to drop $1.77 billion weaponization fund. He's going to drop it. He's not going to do it. An appeals court sides with crazed Biden judge, rules the Pentagon illegally banned transgender troops. Exit responds. Do you think they do that in Russia? Maybe they do, maybe they don't. The far left claims that Trump unloaded on Netanyahu during heated call over Lebanon conflict. I want to speak to that for just a moment. Okay? And I know some people, I know friends of mine who absolutely positively claim to be 100% convinced that there's something interesting. This has been the biggest diversion of them all. Do you hear what I'm saying? The biggest diversion of them all. October the 7th changed everything. October the 7th, and a lot of people don't realize it. Now, if you want to talk politics, a lot of people who never thought about Netanyahu, never thought about Israel at all of a sudden are coming out of the woodwork saying, this isn't right. That's going to be addressed. And that's going to be a litmus test. And the people on the right aren't going to know what to do with that one. Here's one which is very interesting. Look at this. Somebody writes, Lionel just turned into Ben Shapiro for a second. Don't know what that means, but you got 10 seconds to take that back. Here's one. Epstein files, Epstein files, Epstein files. Nobody cares. Nobody's doing anything about the Epstein files. Why are we, when do we finally say, look, we're just yammering. We're just wasting our time. They're not going to do anything about it. You want to keep talking about it? Go ahead. It's like the JFK. I've got these friends who are JFK fanatics. They go to actual meetings and they go to these I don't know what they're called, conventions. And it's like, what are you doing? It's okay, but nobody's going to do this. Nobody's going to do this. So nobody's going to do anything about this. So we have to ask ourselves, what do we really care about? I promise you, when Candace comes back, she's going to have something which is absolutely, it's going to change. Her world is going to change drastically. How do you think that is? That's one of the reasons why people don't like us to go travel, because they don't want us to see how the rest of the world works. Now, when I bring up the Epstein files, and I'm so sorry for this dear friend here, I hate to break it to you, but if you want to go around and you want to keep yammering about this, and that's okay, then you should do the investigation, because nothing's going to happen. I'm telling you, you know that, right? You know that. What do you do when you want to talk about something nobody's talking about? What do you do? I'm curious. Let's say there's something you find fascinating. I think geoengineering. Okay, I've always thought that. Chemtrails. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares the slightest about it. So let me ask you a very simple question. Let me ask you a question. What do you do when something happens? What do you think? What do you think is going to happen? What? Let's say there's something which you find interesting, but the government is never going to investigate it. What do you do? What do you do? Now, what's good about this is that at least regarding Tyler Robinson, there's a case that's pending. You understand that, right? Right. Is Kash Patel going to do anything? No, Kash Patel is worrying about suing for defamation his girlfriend, or he's just, maybe that's one of the reasons why. Here's one. Why do you think nobody's ever talked about the individual who opened fire at the White House Correspondents' Dinner? Why do you think that is? Why? Whatever happened? Why do you think? Nothing. Nobody cares. Because what we do, so this is fun, but it doesn't go. There's no groundswell. It doesn't go anywhere. I promise you. What happened, believe it or not, they care about social media when it comes to comments on Israel or Zionism, whatever. They pay attention to that big time. Other than that, nothing. 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 This is one of the things. So we have to figure a way, rather than talk about this. My thing is, how do I get people to notice it? And the thing is, we need more people out there like the Candaces and Tuckers and others to explain this stuff. But the bottom line is, the problem is with this country, because Americans just don't do anything. We talk a big game. We love to get all worked into a lather. We love this. We talk more shit about stuff, and you can imagine. We get so angry, and you don't understand how the Epstein file. And we just say this stuff, and then one day again goes away. And you say, what about the Epstein files? What's in the files? What do you want? Tell me. They can't answer the question. It's too late. Remember when we thought Michael Jackson was the worst? Michael Jackson was nothing. Where are the files and the pictures and the videos of the victims? How many victims were paid off? How many victims said, okay, I took the money and run. I'm not going to complain. Whatever happened to Virginia Giuffre? I don't know. Remember her? Nobody talks about her. Whatever happened to all those lawsuits back and forth? Tell me what you want to do, because I love this. Whenever you talk about this, people will say, Epstein files, what do you want to do? I don't know what I want to do. I just want to say it. There's nobody out there. Pam Bondi came with her throat showing the effects of surgery, thyroid surgery or thyroid treatment or whatever it was. But she came on board. And what happened? Nothing. Nothing. Garrett Meadows says, after all is said and done, more is said and done. It's true. It's true. Now, I don't want you to get upset about this, but I want you to think next, after we're done, say, he's right. Is my involvement just discussion? Are we just a reading class? Are we just a bunch of people who just sit around like talk about the book? We're like a discussion group? Or do we do something? Do we vote? Do we go crazy? Do we figure we're going to change the course of something? Most people say, no, I'm not going to change the course. I'm too busy. I just want to talk about stuff, which is fun. I would invite everybody, please, do your own channel. Let us know. Let us know so we can come onto your channel and talk. I'm serious. Go on and do something. Does everybody here have an X account? How do you get the words out? How do you do it? Does everybody here have an X account? I hope you do. What do you say? Do you understand this? Do you understand what I'm saying? By the way, this is very interesting. Barron showed the Erica and Blake Wynn connections via their private plane flights. Where do you think that's going? Is there a violation of the law? Is there a criminal conspiracy? Is there aiding and abetting? Is there some kind of a connection with the Is there anybody who's perhaps going to be saying maybe Erica said something in the course of where she lied, and perhaps maybe there might be almost like a civil racketeering case against her? Did she ever say anything where they misled donors? Is anybody going to say anything? Are we going to do something about this? What's the next step? What is the next step? That's the part. It's fun and I love it, but I want to say, let me ask you something. Do you want to bring TPUSA down theoretically because they betrayed Charlie, or because you want to get back at Erica because she's a bitch and you hate her and she's stupid and all this stuff? What is your goal? I want to see TPUSA shuttered. I want to be just like some vestige, or teach people a lesson. This is what happens when you lose direction. And the reason why is because they violated Charlie's ethos, his character, his plan. Not because of Erica. She's stupid. She's a dummy. She's a ditch. She's another airhead that we have. She's fun because she's so stupid. But in the long run, it doesn't matter. Rick Shorty Long, our good friend, says, Our good friend says, whatever happened to the story about 20 or so people who felt ill during one of Trump's speeches? Speculation did, direct energy weapons may have been used. Never heard anything after that incident. Excellent point. The Havana syndrome? An excellent point. You know, Rick, this is where things kind of go to die. Maybe Bobby Kennedy will be doing something about that. But he's too busy showing pictures today when he was in Zambia in 1973 holding a snake, a puff adder. This is the guy who could be making some real connections. Remember his promises about getting to the bottom of vaccines? He wants to show you how he handles snakes. And if you can't see the symbolism of that, there's no help for you. This is a grown man who wants to do pull-ups and pick up snakes and cut off raccoon penises or whatever the hell he wants. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Anybody? Anybody asking Bobby Kennedy, what are you doing? You promised us so much. What are you doing? What are you accomplishing? What? Dr. Oz, what are you doing? I think Marty McCary pretty much said, I'm getting out of here. This is a waste of time. He was actually good. Where is everybody? Who's doing anything? This is a grown man who said, find that picture of me holding a snake. Why? I don't know, because I'm cool. I'm dangerous. Chicks dig me. I'll talk about beef tallow with Sean Hannity about French fries. What a waste of time. That's a guy. I don't know why he pisses me off so much. I thought we're going to get to the bottom with vaccines. Remember that? How many of you felt absolutely said, we're going to get to the bottom? This guy, Children's Defense Fund, my God, it was the boldest, the bravest. Boy, they bought him, huh? They cut his, I don't know what they did. Absolutely. This is the most important thing I've ever seen. We're just forgotten. They promised us. They lied to us. They were going to do this and that. Trump said America first. That is done. I don't understand any of it. Epstein was, if for no other reason, that was handled so poorly. Look, just tell me you're not going to do anything. Remember when Pam Bondi had the binders? Remember all the people that we found out? Remember all those people like Tim Pool? We found out these guys were all paid off, apparently, allegedly. Remember that? They just were all in unison, all these. I thought you were independents. No. Now listen, if everybody's got their price, I don't know. There are certain things I don't understand. The Tate brothers, I don't get that one. Is anybody serious about this? The Tate brothers? Do you know what they've done? You know what's going on here? Seriously, what's going on? Who are the heroes? Candace, Tucker, absolutely, and Joe Rogan. By the way, Joe Rogan's a little bit more political. Joe Rogan says, listen, I'm not here to change the world. I'm here to entertain. And if I happen to make you think, that's great, but that's not my goal. Tucker and Candace. That's it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's kind of enjoying the single life. She's away from this. She and her man, I don't know what they're doing. But I don't think she's really ready to move on yet. Rand Paul was a big flop. Nobody's really, the two people that I'm serious, they're Candace and Tucker. That's it. That's it. Period. Dan Bongina, you're right about that. What a waste. This guy was so full of shit. I mean, the man's septic. I'm telling you. This is the most important thing in the world. Now, all I know is it's not too late, because whatever Trump has done, Democrats are worse. He cannot possibly even approximate what they've done. And who next? J.D. Vance? No. We need something completely different. And that's why the next step is going to be, more importantly, for Candace and Tucker to introduce a movement. Not just report on something, not just tell us, but a movement. You want us to do something. They need an event so big it scares the living shit out of these people. An event, something they want, not run for office, but just have people come together and say, you know what? I'm thinking in Washington, we converge, voter registration, a new party. I don't know what you want to call it, but I have people say, oh my God, because you know what they're saying? We don't care about this. We don't care about this. They're all big talk. Let them talk because they look at what we're doing now as a way for you to let off steam. That's all they want to do. Just let you let off steam. That's it. If Candace Owens, remember one time there was Jon Stewart wanted to do this? If all of a sudden Candace or Tucker put together nothing openly partisan, but just said, this is what we believe in. Something very simple. America first, a return to law and order. Think about this. Something very, very simple. Maybe three. America first, law and order, and the stop. Listen, personally, if you're a lefty, I don't care if you want to make love to an onion ring. Doesn't matter as long as you're an adult or whatever it is. But the contamination of our politics to promote every freak and every paraphile, I've had enough of that. So let's don't call it family values. I don't know what the hell Adams family, Madsen's family, I don't know about that. But that's it. America first. No more money to any other country. I told you what I said before this morning. I don't know if you heard this. I hope you heard this. It was at noon. It was pretty doggone good. The United States maintains between 750 to 877 military bases in 80 to 95 countries. We have had enough. Period. We have had enough. If all of a sudden that was it, three things: America first, crime, and the aiding and abetting of sexual whatever, especially when it comes to children. Very simple. That's it. Now, are those the properties or the belief of the Republicans? Nope. Why? America first. Shit. Same thing goes for the Democrats. They're exactly. Both of them in the tank for Israel. You know that. Just like both are in the tank for the Defense Department. Forget it. That's number one. Number two, think about this. We have that. Number two, the notion of crime. What are we doing to stop crime? Nothing. Nothing. We have land in every place that we need to house prisoners because we need to lock these people up. Forget any kind of rehabilitation. They're not afraid. We have to go through maybe 1 to 2 generations of locking people up where they say these people mean business. Let me ask you something. If I told you in Russia they mean business, would you believe me? If I told you in China they mean business, would you believe me? Yeah. Now, why do you say that? You've never been there, but you know that. You know that, right? You're not going to do that. You're not going to try that. You're not going to steal anything in Russia. You're not going to bother anybody in Russia. Are you kidding me? You're going to bring drugs. How about that big freak? Remember that basketball, whatever that thing was, who came in? Remember that? She brought vape or something. Hey, we're going to lock her ass up and say, you come in our country? These are our rules. Whether you like it or not, don't bring that shit here. Oh, get me out of here. You broke their laws. You went there. They didn't come and pull you out of your whatever you're doing to live there. Remember that kid who in Singapore, they were going to cane his ass? I think they did, or I don't know. Why? They've got rules over there. So let me ask you a question. Would you want to do that? I said, hey, let's smuggle some dope into Russia. You'd say, Why? Because you would say, you know what? I don't know why, but they're pretty badass. I just look at these people and they scared the shit out of me. Does Trump scare you? Maybe at one point, not anymore. Does America scare you? One of the reasons why Mrs. L keeps talking about the fact that these people are coming to the World Cup, they're going to be doing all this stuff, is because of the fact that they think anything goes in our country because we're weak. We've got no balls. We've got no spine. Period. And it's not about the death penalty or anything like that. A lot of countries, a lot of badass countries don't have the death penalty. They don't have it. You don't need a death penalty. No. So America first, crime, and then this idea of countenancing, rubber stamping freaks. I don't want to hear anybody tell me anything about the president. Well, you want to build that ballroom. He's tearing up, the lawn. Okay, yeah, that's pretty. I think it looks shitty. I think what he did to the Rose Garden. It looks like a lunchroom at some kind of I don't know what it is, like a Cracker Barrel or something, some outdoor dining. But what's even more interesting, specifically, is the idea that when Biden was here and you had all those freaks running around, nobody said a word. When he had the whole White House, all the gay flags and all that. You know what? I'll take a UFC fight over a bunch of gay flags in the White House. There's some guy named Cooper with his long fingernails. You goddamn right I'm going to do that. What's the matter with you? Of course. This is ridiculous. We forget about that. Is that okay? Is that okay for me to say that? Do you mind if I say that? It's the truth. I don't know where he went, though. It's like, I don't know I don't know what happened to Trump. He's like, he takes things personally. He says something. I don't believe anything he says. Next day, he forgets the whole thing, forgets everything. This is for now. Why would any country want to even negotiate with him? Period. So that's exactly what I'm doing, all right? We lost our moral compass. We absolutely, positively don't understand what's going on. Seriously. So that's it. That's it. You got this? Good. So let me thank you. To all my great friends, thank you for the very, 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 very kind super chats tonight. We are doing great tonight. We are hitting 400,000 plus. We're going to be fitting about 400,100. Thanks to you. That totally took forever, but that's okay. Because, look, I understand. Come on. There are people who are unboxing curling irons, who are pulling in 1 million. Stop it. Some people, they're lying. Some people, they're whatever. It's okay. It's okay. I understand it. I get it. So that's where that is. All right. And I want to thank you. You guys are terrific. You guys are terrific. You got that? So hit that like button. And even the mocos, the jadruls who were basically saying nothing. You know what? That's okay. You were polite. You didn't bother anybody. But do me a favor. Say something. Say something. Some of the stuff you write is so lame. If you're going to troll, damn it, troll. Do something good. But this is pathetic. I deserve better than this. Mix it up. That's good. Make it extra. But this stuff, stop it. You're better than that. Please also follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warrior. She's got a lot of good stuff to say, a lot of great stuff. And she needs your help and your support. Anyway, my friends, I love you. Be back tomorrow. I think noonish. I like noonish. We bring all our UK friends in, which is terrific. It's always fun. And I thank you. And I thank you. I thank you. You're good people. You know what? You're good people. Sure, you're crazy. But what if you're right? Sure, you're crazy. You're out of your mind. But you know what? You know what's going on. And I love yous. I love yous. All right, dear friends, have a great and glorious night. Until we meet again, remember, monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue ya. Da-da.